to the podcast. So today we're talking about things that changed your life. So I know we're gonna get people who come in with secular things, and that's fine. But I also want to hear from people who have these don't have to be actual death-defying physical things like you were in a shootout and you made it somehow. Nah, it doesn't have to be like that. But it could be symbolic decisions and choices that you made in your life that changed the trajectory, you know, got you to somewhere you were trying to go. So for me, I have a couple, and they kind of overlap. But the first one is late '80s, my last 2 years of high school. High school for me was whack. My parents were on crack, and it just kind of derailed everything else in my life. So I was just kind of detached from school and trying to be a student. But I found that playing football helped me to stay eligible. It helped me to stay eligible. It helped me to still have some joy in my life, and just kept me emotionally and mentally intact during this period. Otherwise, I would have probably just cracked from a lot of the stress. And that was a way too much stress for someone who didn't shoot. I don't even think I had a bank account at the time. Maybe I did, but it was probably zero, maybe negative. But yeah, so I don't think that that's how life should have been. You know, things were bad, but I would never want to slander my parents because they did right by me in a lot of ways. And it wasn't during this period, again, everybody was going through this. Everybody were feeling these effects. So it was never anything that was like, damn, man, why is this happening to us? No. So I just kind of looked at it as a community thing, and just we had to get through it. And so I saw other people around me who were suffering way worse than we were. So I always had the reality that this could be worse. So, I mean, we might have had some days without heat and electricity or something like that. Maybe a day, maybe a day or two, not on the same days. I'm not gonna say that didn't happen, but I mean, there's very little that I could say I went without in terms of the worldly things. But the real things that I needed, the things I needed most, were my parents' presence, and I don't mean just them physically being there, because they checked out in both ways actually at times. So that was that was what was going on at home, and that was really what was structuring my life at the time. So football was, I was good at football. I was a decent player. I got to travel, some places, and it was a good. And when we won, it invigorated me from that Friday evening through the weekend. At least I could get a couple days without having to think about what's going on at home. It was good. It was really good for the soul. So because there was very little else I was getting, it was hard to. I didn't really have anybody there. There was really, my friends were there for me. Don't get me wrong. I can't say that that somebody was going through it with me, because my brother and I, while we were going through stuff together, we weren't together on it. We didn't really we didn't really collaborate on how we felt and what was going on. I think there was a time or two I might have mentioned to him what he should do in the house or something like that. But outside of that, I can't recall a conversation we had about what was going on in the house. So football, I don't know. I wish I would could know what my brother's thing was that kept him. So he's a subscriber, I believe. So Dane, please jump in the comments and tell me. But football definitely kept me sane. Sane. So after that, the overlapping decision for me was deciding to go to North Dakota to college to play football. So that was big for me. It was the biggest decision I've ever made in my life up until that point. So I go to some place that's completely different and basically somehow found out a way to thrive. And not only that, unlike being at home, I could get away and be invigorated for months and not have to be so focused on what my parents were doing and all that. Don't get me wrong. I was I was definitely thinking about it, but I was able to I was able to juggle and handle, my coursework and my friendships and my relationships and my jobs that I had while I was at school, because I had two of them and they were both important. I mean, playing football was a job and also being an RA. So I had those things. So it was a lot, but it kept me busy and it kept me, as a result, a very emotionally and mentally stable young man. So please tell me, what are some of your life-changing decisions that you made, or things that saved your life? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.